Hello everybody, we're going to be talking about Eurel today, and she is a 90 cost earth unit, a strike unit, non-limited though, so a lot of people might be thinking, well, I could skip her, but we had to talk about it first, talk about her kit and everything else that comes with her, including a VC that's dropping this week, which is interesting because lately we've been having these VCs that go along with units announced early, but not actually releasing until the week after the unit. However, this week they are releasing the exact same week. So this week you can pull for Eurel and also her VC, which means we're accelerating the timeline a little bit. And maybe that means we're going to get Summer Helena next week, which is, I don't really know. Maybe we'll get Summer Helena. That's when JP got her after Eurel's VC, or maybe we're in for a global surprise. Now that certainly doesn't, make anybody want to be pulling this week, but still we should look at this unit, see if it's worth it, or maybe it's someone that you want to target down the line. As per usual, we're going to start off with who is this unit strong against and who are they weak against. And Eurel has a pretty nice little niche here to attack certain teams, and that is because she has a very high slash and missile resistance, and further to that she has 2 casts of courage, so that will really help out against specific teams. She is mostly going to be taking on our ice missile teams because of her high missile resist, but also because she can bestow an effect that dispels courage for allies. So allies can attack people and dispel the enemy's courage. Now, who's this going to work well on, do you think? Yeah, it's going to be Snow. So if you put up Eurel against these ice missile units against Snow, then she's going to be pretty effective. She can also break barriers. We're going to talk about what's all in her kit later on, but she will be good against ice missile along with your other earth units. Now, she's obviously going to be good against lightning teams. Don't really have to go into why there, but another one I wanted to mention is a water team. Now, specifically a non-evasion water team. So Celas and Astrius are both weak to strike, and she can also break these barriers, etc., dispel courage, all these good things. So I think those are 3 areas where you can use Eurel in against compositions that we're seeing currently. Now, including the upcoming limited guild battle, she's going to be really good in that as well. Now, she has some weaknesses as well. Her major weakness is going to be magic attacks, and specifically wind is a big concern. So stay away from, Halloween Little Leela, from Sadly, from Moore, from Glaciela, because she's also weak to Pierce, but again, wind. The other area I would watch out for besides general magic is evasion, because with Eurel, she doesn't have any 100% hits. Her accuracy isn't low, but it's also not super high. So if you're not built for accuracy and you're coming up against a top tier evasion team, then she's going to be missing. So if you want to fight evasion, then you have to build her for accuracy, which can be done, right? It can be done, but if you're not building her that way, if you're taking on mostly ice teams and then you see an evasion team on the list, don't attack them. Okay, and then finally, this is kind of they're good against each other in a way, because there's a lot of dark teams right now, and dark teams have a few advantages over Eurel, and namely that includes Halloween Lucia and Dark Fina are going to be very strong against Eurel, but Eurel is going to be pretty good against Joker and Leela because they have slash and missile attacks. However, they also both have positive strike resistance, so they're going to be good against Eurel. So I don't really think that Eurel is going to be good against Dark. I think that we've seen that even though someone can have high slash resist, it doesn't really matter when you come up against a really strong Dark team. They can kind of just power through. So while Eurel can strip the courage off of Leela and maybe can stand up to more hits than a lot of units against Joker and Leela, she's going to melt against Fina and Lucia, and she's also going to not do as much damage because she doesn't have that strike penetration against these units that have positive strike resistance, which is not something that we commonly see. Okay, next up, we're going to be talking about the pros for Eurel, and she has a lot of really cool things, including a TMR ability that allows the user, the people that the ability hits, to absorb 30% of their damage as HP. Now, this is actually a really interesting effect to give to other units. If there's a unit that can take advantage of that maybe they're all bruisers and they're bulky and they can heal to a safe range, I just think that gives us some options. It's not something that I'm predicting to be like just a banger item that we all need to get, but it's just a very interesting TMR, and I love that we can share that effect with other units. Now, she also has high missile and slash resist. I've already talked about that, and it's a really nice thing that we can supplement, especially with an Esper like Odin, where you get slash missile resist. You can get Man Eater, for her strike attack, since we don't have a proper strike Esper right now, at least a UR one. So that's something to look out for as well. Her LB is very interesting because it has Dispel, but also AP Refresh. So that's where I kind of see it as a weakness as well, because it's only the one match that you can use it in for guild battle, but it's so strong, right? To be able to fully dispel someone and then start gaining AP to attack some more. We already talked about the 2 courage uses, really effective for PvP. Love to see that. And the fact that she can give a team buff that allows you to dispel courage is a huge counter to a lot of courage units. It's a really big deal, like honestly a huge deal. She can break barriers. She has very high defense penetration once she gets it online. So she has 40% on a passive, another 40% on an active attack. Once she gets that online, she's going to be doing a lot of damage, and she has high attack for a strike unit as well. She can even reduce counter chance by 100%, so no reflexing for you. No, not even a little bit, okay? And then, of course, there's some other things that she can do, including a physical reflex of her own and the ability to break people's agility and their AP. Now you're probably thinking, Mysidia, that's a lot of pros, right? So clearly she must be a must pull. Well, I mean, slow down there, okay? There are some cons to her, but before we get to those cons, it's that time of the video where I ask you to like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel, I don't know, maybe. You like to support me, I appreciate it. Otherwise, let's talk about those cons. So the first thing I want to mention is that she is a slower unit in terms of agility stat. She's on the lower end of the agility spectrum, and she also has low range. So her jobs are the new martialist job, the pugilist sub job, and the knight sub job. So that's a lot of low range sub jobs, and she's slow. She can increase her move by 1 with a passive, so that's good, right? But still, that low range is kind of puts her in danger of being picked off by enemy units, especially long range magic units. And luckily, some of our long range magic units are missile units, but still, because she has a good missile resist, but still the 0 spirit, and if someone hits her with a jamming thruster or whatever it is, it's going to be a problem. So that's like the biggest thing I see. The other con I kind of see is that while she counters specific units in the meta, I feel like there's still a big chunk of the meta that she doesn't really affect and is even weak against, as noted at the beginning of this video. And that kind of... She's just not going to be a unit that's going to come in and dominate. She's going to be a really nice tool for Earth players to use in their compositions, and they're going to, it's going to help Earth become even more relevant than it was. There's some good things there, but I also don't think that she's so strong, because of her weaknesses that, that everyone should be pulling for her. So if you take that as a con, that's cool. I mean, I think it is. Next up, we're going to talk about comparisons, and I've compared her to Winter, Venera, and Snow. Snow is one of our newest strike units. So you can see that clearly she's a damage dealer compared to Snow, who is primarily kind of like a tank slash like kind of a bit of a damage dealer. So she has a lot more attack than he does, and she actually has access to a 60% attack buff on her sub job that is pretty interesting. It reduces her spirit, but increases her attack by 60%. So that's kind of a big deal if she can get that online. So when we look at Winter Venera, who's also an Earth Strike unit, there's one big difference that I want to make. Well, I mean, there's a couple, but this is again an example of how you take a unit that we used to have and then you just push them into the future, because Eurel has way more utility, way more things to add to your team than Winter Venera does. Now, Raldor got some pretty good upgrades recently that made him more tanky, which is something that can help a unit even if they don't have as good utility as we see with Eurel. With Winter Venera, she has not become more tanky, she just became stronger. Well, Eurel, we're going to get the tankiness and we're going to get the strength, and that's where she's going to really separate herself from Venera. And the tankiness comes, as you can see, see from the resistances on the screen right now, but also things like the eventual the Knight upgrade where you get some AoE resist is really key, but also things like the double courage is a way for her to survive longer and then maybe get healed up or something to that effect. So that is where I see, just a huge jump from Winter of Venera. So we still have damage, but we add survivability, and then we add a bunch of utility for the team and for taking out specific units, and that's where you get a vastly superior unit. Now, I just want to point out one mistake that I noticed on the screen right now, which it says Winter of Venera has 1 jump, and she actually has 2 jumps. So if you were going to get on me in the comments about that, get out of town. I called it out first. Yeah, I did it. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. That's all I have to say about Eurel. Now, I think that she is a good unit objectively, and that she absolutely tackles certain parts of the meta that we have right now. So Earth players, you can feel pretty good about picking her up. However, she's not limited. She's 90 cost. There's maybe a surprise coming next week, and I know a lot of people will be very excited for something to come out, so I don't think that you can pull for her right now unless you are a die-hard Earth fan. Otherwise, for the rest of us, it's a pretty easy skip in my opinion. But that's the cool part about Divisions, that you have these units that are good, just not so good that we have to pull for them. But if you do decide to pull for them, you're not getting a total dud, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let me know what you think. Did I miss any important information? Do you think she's going to be better than I said or worse than I said? You can mention that in the comments, share that information with other players, and then we can all become smarter, except for me, who will probably make more mistakes in future videos. But otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be doing a separate video on her VC that has some more detail about who can equip it and utilize its effects, etc. And then we'll get that out tomorrow, hopefully. And then otherwise, hopefully this week I'll have some more time for some other videos. I'd really like to do some arena videos, but we'll see if I have time for it, because it's a busy time for me. I'm coaching again, so lots of things going on in my life, but that's cool. Whatever. We'll see you all in the video, hopefully tomorrow.